The Northwest Arkansas Regional Planning Commission's forecast is 800,000 residents by 2040.
Northwest Arkansas, are you interested in what the next 20 years in the real estate market will look like?
Today we're looking at the last 10 to predict the next 20. Let's get right into it. Today, Northwest Arkansas agent Chip Sizemore will be joining me to go through the numbers.
Looking forward to bringing some bangers for your Northwest Arkansas real estate predictions.
What were you doing in 2010? I was playing JV basketball in Northwest Arkansas as 440,000 people.
The median sale price in the metro area in 2011 was $135,000.
Before we go any further, you'll hear us reference the Big Four a lot in our videos, and that consists of Springdale, Rogers, Bentonville, and Fayetteville, or the four biggest towns that make up the MSA. Here's a look at the average median sales price per town back in 2011. Springdale was the lowest, and Bentonville came in at the #1 spot. Over the past decade, median sales prices have increased by 8.5% per year.
From 2013 to 2018, this was a consistent 4.9%.
From 2019 to 2021, this jumped to an astounding 12% per year, which reiterates the point, the best time to buy real estate is always yesterday.
Not only has the median price per home increased year over year, but what we've seen is 120,000 people have moved in this area from the beginning of the decade.
When the 2020 census data came out, we were metro area number 105 by population in the United States at about 546,000 people. But just in the last year in 2021, an additional 13 to 15,000 people have moved into the area, which puts us in the ranks with the likes of Chattanooga, Tennessee, Jackson, Mississippi, Modesto, California, as we climb past the 100 mark into the top 100 metros.
Hey Chip, what is the Northwest Arkansas Regional Planning Commission?
Great question, Drake. It's the federally designated metropolitan planning organization for Benton and Washington County.
2 years ago in 2019, this organization projected that Benton and Washington County would have somewhere around 800,000 residents by 2040. This amounts to 35 individuals moving into the area per day for the next 20 years. This would place two cities in Northwest Arkansas close to 150,000 residents, with Springdale and Fayetteville, and Rogers coming in at over 100,000.
The last 3 years in this market has been an outlier, but if we're using the data between 2013 and 2018 with the average year-over-year increase at 4.9%, what does that mean for 2040?
At 4.9% median sales price growth, we would see a median sales price in the Big Four in 2040 of about $750,000. Of course, you have to think about this number inflation adjusted, and you also have to think about, as the area swells to that 800,000 to 1 million people mark, how much more desirable it will be to be along the I-49 corridor.
Now that you know what the future holds here in this metropolitan area, let's take a look back over the past 10 years to better understand how we've gotten to this point.
In 2011, you could have scooped up your average median home for $135,000 in the Big Four. Today, that same home is going to be just over $300,000. By poring over 11 years of sales data, we were able to identify some big trends. One of those is that there's been a changing of the guard of the #1 price per square foot town in Northwest Arkansas. At the beginning of the decade, it was Fayetteville at $91 per square foot. Fayetteville and Bentonville changed leads multiple times over the last 11 years, but Bentonville was set for success right in 2019 when we started noticing massive appreciation in the area. There was more national media, and cities that had planned for growth were positioned very well to take off. From there, Bentonville has widened the gap as the clear #1 town in price per square foot in Northwest Arkansas.
Once thought of as a clear #4 in the Big Four, Springdale has closed the gap over the last decade. In 2011, the average price per square foot in Springdale was $59, while Fayetteville was at $91. In 2011, Springdale trailed Rogers by 40% in price per square foot. In 2021, they only trail Rogers by 7%.
But this is not necessarily a story of the haves and have-nots. A rising tide lifts all boats, and we've noticed that the Big Four has started to outpace the rest of Northwest Arkansas in price per square foot. My head's spinning. I know Chip's head is spinning as well. We put so much data into this video, and there's so many different routes we can go, but we're also local experts. born and raised in the area, we want to give you guys some anecdotal evidence of what we see happening. We're going to talk about the 5 things that are going to drive the growth to 800,000 and what we perceive as some limiting factors that we could come across. Number 1, we are landlocked in almost every direction besides west. Now, this is arguable. I know there's some pockets of, say, Pea Ridge or some areas out east that are fairly flat, but for the most part, out east, you have the lake, you have hills. To the north, we have the Missouri border, which changes the whole dynamic as far as development goes with the tax structure. To the south, there's extremely rugged terrain in the Ozark National Forest. So things are gonna go west, or whichever way that is for you guys. Expect to see that, and it's gonna be up to the cities to keep up.
My bold prediction by 2040 is the lowest entry point for the Big Four will be at $250 price per square foot.
Bold prediction number 3, the average square footage right now in Washington County and Fayetteville and Springdale is about 2,000 square feet, whereas in Benton County and Rogers and Bentonville, it's about 2,300 square feet. I predict that you will continue to see this happen. I think in Washington County, more efficient use of space will be employed, and I can see smaller builds on smaller lots and more multi-family developments coming to the Big Four as that land value continues to increase.
Bold prediction number 4, talking about the area that will separate itself as the go-to business district. That's right, talking about the Rogers Promenade area. Hosting the AMP, Top Golf, the Hunt Towers, Founder Plaza, there is so much that's growing and yet to have been developed to make this the leading Class A office space for Northwest Arkansas.
Bold prediction number 5, if you are a short-term rental owner, whether it's Airbnb or VRBO, expect increased taxes and regulation in your municipality. Fayetteville is the first to take the jump. I anticipate Bentonville will be next, followed by Rogers and Springdale, all before 2030. As we mentioned earlier, we have to talk about possible limitations, and here's what I see on the horizon. We have to bank on the smaller cities that are out west to continue to develop their school districts, their planning commissions, their street departments, their utilities, so that development can continue out on the western part of Benton County.
Of course, we need our 3 Fortune 500 companies continuing to crush it in Walmart, Tyson, and JB Hunt, and bringing great people to the area who want to work for these companies and limiting remote work.
And to be dead honest, we ad-libbed the end of this video. I can't think of a third limitation. Northwest Arkansas is awesome. I hope you enjoyed the video. My name is Drake, running real estate here on YouTube. I was joined today by my good friend Chip Sizemore, also of GTW Group NWA. We're out.